And that's why I think that we have to go back when we say what's wrong with the church. I believe either we go too far to the right or we go too far to the left. And this is what happens. We become so spiritual that we're no earthly good anymore. It's just Jesus, 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 and just Jesus, 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 and that's it. And it can't be that. And then on the other hand, because we try to please people so much with the mind, and that's why we're out of divine order, and divine order is spirit over the mind. But what's happening today, we have the mind over the spirit, so consequently, we get a lot of fleshly people just who want to operate in the mind, so our messages have to always be on money, 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 and how you're going to get money instead of balancing it out. There has to be a balance in everything that we do. So we have to come back into the divine order of God. And there's some people who don't like that. They don't like the divine order of God, spirit over the mind. But that's been the problem from the beginning. With Adam and Eve, that was the problem. There were two trees in the garden. One was the tree of life, and the other was the tree of good and evil, the knowledge that you could get from the mind. So what did man do? He went to the tree of knowledge, to the mind first. You can't go to the mind first. It's got to be spirit over the mind. So consequently, because we have spiritual influence that we're supposed to use wisely, and if you're led by the spirit, and what happens, so much politics come into the church that we don't even care who leads us anymore. You can't do it through the spirit, then it's not going to be done right anyhow. And God has not placed us there to be dictators, but he has placed us there to be spiritual leaders. And if you're that kind of spiritual leader, then your influence will carry.
Many of us have moved into places that we thought was never possible. And so we do kind of have, many of us, a kind of obvious success. We do. And I think we get confused with that success. And I think we have a lot of spirit in our churches. I'm not just sure whose spirit it is. And maybe that's why thinking is so low in our churches. You see, I think the Black church is very good at producing people who can proclaim, who can preach, who can really entertain. And we have done that well. In fact, I think it would be fair to say we have produced the greatest preachers in the world. That is, we have produced people who can really say the word, their word. But what we have not done is we have not really helped our people to know what the gospel is, to think on it, to reflect on it, and to be able to understand what challenges this gospel places before us in the world in which we live. The world is not easy to understand with all of the list of problems going on that you indicated. We need a thinking church. We don't only need a praying church. I'm for that. But I'm also for a thinking church, because Jesus told us to love God with our heart, soul, and mind. Don't forget about mind now. We got to love God with our mind. And so I don't like it when, you know, I don't like it when we denigrate the mind. See, theology is loving God with your mind. And I think if we could get the collection of us like we have on this stage here, we could get us together where we're not on TV, but we're in a closed circle room where nobody knows we meeting there. And we get our minds together. And we learn how to learn from each other. I think we would begin to make our way toward the solution to some of the problems that you outlined before us today. My biggest difficulty that it's hard to get us together unless we are on stage.
If